Hi, everybody. This is Andrew Rhodes from the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I wanted to take a moment before this week's episode starts to give you a little forewarning and explain this week's episode. This week's episode is a little different than normal, mostly because I recorded each topic individually. The reason why was because at the time of recording, my laptop was doing some updates, and I was afraid that at some point I might have to restart my laptop once the updates were installed. So you may hear an occasional noise every now and then at the start of each new topic. This is because with each new recording, my microphone kicks on, and that is the initial kick-on noise that you would hear feedback and fed back to the system. I will try to catch as much of it as I can in the editing process when I combine this all into video format. But I just wanted to give you a heads up in case I can't catch any of it. So thank you very much for your understanding. And please enjoy this week's episode of the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. Ba weep grana weep ninibum. My name is Andrew Rhodes, and I would like to welcome you to the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast for Saturday, July 22nd, 2017. For those of you that are new to this, welcome. For those of you that have been here before, you know what happens. This is a podcast hosted by me, basically dealing with topics that interest me or arouse my curiosity that I found throughout the week. That's right. And then I talk about them here on my podcast because I have no life and nothing better to do on a Saturday night. Hey, I don't have TV anymore, so there you go. Well, anyway, this week I've got plenty to talk about. The 13th Doctor has officially been announced, and fans are mixed. And I do mean mixed. Believe me, I've been scouring Twitter since this. Anime got a mention in the BBC documentary Sexless in Japan, and I'm going to be talking about that as well this week. The live-action Gintama movie apparently was not too good. That's not a good sign. Speaking of live-action stuff, One Piece is planning on becoming a live-action TV series. First off, I'd like to say it best, or I think Darth Vader said it best. No! God, no. And I also have an asshole seller of the week. And believe it or not, this time I actually found it on my own, and I didn't have to buy anything from them to find out about them. This one was actually handed to me on a silver platter. Not to mention, there might be some miscellaneous things thrown in here and there because, hey, let's face it, this podcast it doesn't have random in its name for nothing. Anything can happen here. So, without any further ado, come on, you know what's next if you're a regular, but if you're new, check out my eBay page if you're interested in any collectibles, trading cards, oddities, what have you, because I always have stuff for sale. That's ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. I usually have a lot of weird stuff, collectibles, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some trading cards, DVDs, video games, what have you. I put stuff up every now and then. I try relisting some stuff, try putting up some new stuff, intermixing the two. You know, check me out. Especially if you're in the market for some of that stuff. They make great gifts, great conversation starters. Just a great overall way to just show the world that, hey, look, I got something that I think is great. If they think it's crap, well, then you can tell them to go to hell. But anyway, that's ARHOADS-2012 on eBay. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Otaku Roads, where I usually tweet stuff throughout the week and constantly get into nerd battles every now and then. So, let me give you a little update on how my week went. It's been miserable, to say the least. Where I live at, I can safely say this because the thermometer in my room is below 90 for the first time in the last 3 days. We have been in a damn heat wave. And it's been miserable for the last 3 nights for me because to help with the bills, I don't have my fans running at night. Because I want to be nice, I want to cut back on electricity, so I don't have the fans on running during the night. If I'm awake, they're on, because I'm usually doing something, they're helping to keep me cool, or keep me, my laptop, or my tablet cool. But at night, I shut them off to conserve on electricity. And let me just explain, has anybody ever tried sleeping in a 100-degree sauna? Because it ain't fun. Especially in freaking July. The middle of summer, it is not fun to basically live in a 100-degree room. Now, happily, I'm fine. There's no physical ramifications, but I'm glad the heat wave's done. Otherwise, I'm kind of having a good week. Been playing a lot of Lords Mobile lately. Just got back into the first ever guild that I joined. It got auto-disbanded, and it's being threatened with that again. Though knowing my luck, come tomorrow morning when I log in again, it'll be auto-disbanded again. But it's a great guild. I even tried starting my own, but it didn't last longer than like a day. Yeah, I still got a lot to learn. But anyway, I have a lot of fun with that. Been playing some Digimon Heroes, some Marvel Contest of Champions, and I'm still playing the HeroBots game, even though HeroBots kind of... The difficulty spike on that thing went through the roof. There's a couple of problems that I've noticed on there that I should really email the creators about, because it's some major issues on there. But that's neither here nor there. But that's pretty much been my week in a nutshell. The heat, and then I'd work, and yeah, it's never fun when you can't sleep, and then you got to go to work. Like, you get up at 2:30 in the morning, be at work by 5, and you're exhausted because you couldn't get any sleep because it's so damn hot in your room. Yeah, it's never fun. But anyway, that's pretty much been my week, so let's get into the podcast, shall we? Alright, so the 13th Doctor was finally announced this past week. Fact to be, it was Sunday, I want to say afternoon-ish, last week that the 13th Doctor was finally announced. And fans have been waiting for this first off since Peter Capaldi announced that he was leaving the series. But fans are happy and not happy at the same time. The 13th Doctor is none other than Jodie Whittaker. Yes, that's right. Doctor Who finally has a female Doctor. Yeah, that's right. I like the one Twitter person said it best. And they actually, what's funny is that it was something that I told my mom, and then I saw it, somebody posted it up on Twitter. So Doctor Who finally has a female Doctor, and the U.S. still doesn't have a female president. That, I kind of thought that was a little on the humorous side. It's just like a matter of irony if you think about it. But anyway, and I mean no disrespect, by the way. First off, I want to just stress that. I mean no disrespect. Please don't come at me or anything. Please don't bitch and complain in the comments. But anyway, so fans have been mixed with this. And a friend of mine and I were talking about it, and it feels like the fans are mixed on it because there's been a set formula for Doctor Who since its initial run way back in the day. I'm not talking about since the 2005 reboot. I'm talking way back in the day, like back in the late 60s, early 70s when Doctor Who started. There was a huge way that this was done. I mean, regeneration, first off, was just created because, we needed a way to keep the cycle going so that the show could have some longevity. But it definitely is interesting in the fact that a lot of people just aren't happy with how this is going, how the character was chosen. And I honestly think a majority of it is that people are just pissed that Doctor Who finally has a female Doctor. Personally, it doesn't really bother me because I don't watch the newer ones. Mostly because I don't have access to BBC America to watch them. Because I'm not paying for the service on my freaking computer or my tablet via the internet, and I don't have cable. So it doesn't bother me one iota. A lot of fans, though, are still pissed about this, but yet at least almost an equal amount, are excited about this. They're happy that Doctor Who is finally embracing, and I thought it was the 20th century, it's the 21st century, but they're finally happy for once that Doctor Who is actually taking some groundbreaking steps here. I kind of have to agree with that. I mean, the formula, if you think about it, it's kind of been the same throughout the entirety of the show, and I'll admit that. You have the Doctor, you have a companion, but they never specified who the Doctor has to be. I mean, if you think about it, we technically had a female Doctor, but she was half, Time Lord, half human, and that was Donna, when you had the emergency meta crisis back, and I'm trying to think of the name of the episode, and it's going to bother me because I just watched the DVD of it last year. I want to say Doomsday. I think no, that was Rose Tyler. Anyway, it was the last Donna Noble episode before the specials. The series 4 finale. She basically became half human, half Time Lord because of the meta crisis, which resulted from the Doctor's arm, which was severed at the start of Series 2, which, by the way, I have to admit, Series 2, Series 3, and Series 4 are some of the best David Tennant series ever. No one will ever deny that, and I dare anybody to try. He is the best Doctor that ever was on that show. But you have fans that are now screaming that this show's gone to pot, the show's going downhill, it's not going to last anymore. Well, one fan actually had the audacity to go, well, this show's officially done. They're going to turn it into a talk show. Or it's going to be like The View. And that I kind of found insulting. I don't know why I found it insulting, but I just did. Now, I don't know who Jodie Whittaker is. I've never heard of the name before it was announced. And when I was told it to my friend, she goes, oh, I know who that is. I'm like, oh, okay. You want to explain it to me? If I remember her explaining it correctly, she plays in a show, or played in a show called Broadchurch, which is, I think, still going on yet. But don't quote me on it. But I'm pretty sure that's what my friend was telling me about it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I still don't know who it is. But anyway, so the new Doctor's finally been announced. I, for one, am happy that, okay, we have another Doctor, so the show's still going to go. Because there were fans that were thinking, okay, Capaldi's leaving, it's the end of the series. But think about it. He lasted, what? We're in what now? Series 10 just finished up. We still have the Christmas special anymore. So let's see. How many series was he in? Let's see. You had, oh, God, the hell was her name? Get Clara. And then you had, you had, Bill. That's right. And then, yeah. So you basically, he did it for at least, I want to say 3 years. At least 3 series, I want to say. Because I'm pretty sure Clara was in 2 of them. She was in Series 8, Series 9, and they ended her in Series 9, and Series 10 was where he got Bill. That's right. I remember now. But anyway, he did it for 3 years. David Tennant did it for 3 years. Not to mention, David Tennant also did a whole shit ton of specials that closed out his tenure as the Doctor. And he came back and did The Day of the Doctor along with John Hurt and Matt Smith, who can personally rot in hell. But anyway, I'm not a fan of him. So, with the 13th Doctor being announced, I personally think the show, okay, it's still a sci-fi show. Eventually, people are going to get tired of it. You can't say they're going to get tired of it just because, oh, this actor or actress is on the series. No, that would be like me back when I was watching television going, oh, I don't want to watch the show anymore because so-and-so's in it, it's going to pop. I mean, I've said it because my mom likes NCIS. She's been watching it online lately. And when Wilder Valderramas was announced that he was taking over and going to be on the show, in all honesty, the first words out of my mouth were, okay, that show's going downhill. It's been on now for how many years, for starters? So it's got a longevity that's already being tested by time, first off. Second off, and this is something you can easily look up online, every show that Wilder Valderramas has touched since his time on that 70s show has gone to pot. Every single one. It lasts like 2 or 3 seasons with him, and then either he leaves or the show just gets canceled. And it is something you can look up online. He, in my opinion, is what you would call a B-list actor. Now, like I said, I don't know who Jodie Whittaker is. I don't know if she's going to be good. I mean, she could actually be a really good Doctor. Hell, she could be, better than David Tennant. I don't know. I'm not sure. But you just can't judge a book by its cover and go, oh, yeah, no, we're done with this. She's the doctor now. No, we're screwed. No, you just can't do that and think that people aren't going to be complacent and not happy about it. People are eventually going to get pissed off. They're going to get mad. But like I said, though, because I've been watching this on Twitter, and when it was first announced, half the fans were pissed, and the other half were ecstatic. So it's sort of a 50-50 mix. You don't have that extra percentage of fans to tip the scale in one direction or the other, which in this case is a good thing, because if it would tip the scale, it could actually be bad, but yet at the same time, it could be good. So it's one of those, you're teetering on the knife's edge, so to speak. I don't know if it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be bad. We just got to wait and be patient. I mean, we just can't up and condemn a series, like I said, because one person is playing a role. There's nothing that we can do to prevent that. So, yeah. First off, I'd like to congratulate her. So congratulations, Jodie Whittaker. Hope you do well as the 13th Doctor. Though technically she would be the 14th if you count the War Doctor. If you don't, then she is the 13th. Because if you count the War Doctor, Peter Capaldi was the 13th. But if you don't count the War Doctor, then she is the 13th. So, I don't know. But check out the Christmas special. That's going to be kind of interesting because Peter Capaldi, that'll be his last and final appearance as the Doctor. And he'll be interacting with the first Doctor. Sadly, not the original actor. That original actor is long worm food and dead. But someone that, from the clip that I saw, is doing a damn good job as the first Doctor. But Peter Capaldi just doesn't want to regenerate. He's refusing to do it. And it's kind of interesting how it was playing out. So, yeah, check out the Christmas special. I think it's going to be pretty cool. And like I said, congratulations to Jodie Whittaker. Let's see what happens with the next series. I mean, is she going to be another Christopher Eccleston and only be around for one series? Or could she be the next David Tennant and be around for, like, a couple? I don't know. Only time will tell. All right. So, by now everybody knows that Japan has a low birth rate. Yeah, I know it's kind of sad if you think about it. I mean, they get screwed so bad as it is now. But anyway, in an article courtesy of Otaku USA, the BBC mentioned anime in their Sexless in Japan documentary. And what's sad about this is how they went about it. Now, I watched the clip that it had it in, so if you want to check it out, just type it in the YouTube search. It's not that difficult. But reports about Japan's low birth rate and its young people's seeming lack of interest in sex is practically a genre unto itself. It's true. The short documentary that the BBC did entitled Sexless in Japan introduces the idea that hobbies like anime may be to blame. Now, I'd like to first off go with this and say that one of the people in this, the suggestion comes from comedian Ano Matsui, who tells reporter Rupert Wingfield Hayes, never heard of him, that there are a lot of men like me who find women scary. We are afraid of being rejected, so we spend time doing hobbies like animation. So, this is another feather in anime's cap. And first off, I get a little pissed off about this in general when people instantly go, oh, anime's to blame for a lot of stuff. There's a shit ton of perverts in the world. Oh, we gotta blame anime for that. Oh, well, my kid doesn't want to do anything. Oh, well, he wants to be a NEET. That's anime's fault. Anime is not to blame for a majority of the world's problems. You want to know what a problem is? A problem is something that has been caused by something else. Stop using anime as a goddamn scapegoat for starters, and there wouldn't be a problem in that respect. But some of the other people that they interviewed in this said that a lot of the people, either they're really busy with work or they're just not interested in having a relationship. Fact to be, the comedian himself even came out and said that he was traumatized because he asked a girl out and she said no. You know how many women I've asked out and they've said no? I'm still traumatized by it? Yeah, hell no. It's like, okay, they don't like me. Fair enough, I understand that. Okay, they think I'm ugly. Alright, that's fair, I get that. But to actually just go and say that you're scared of women because you're afraid of being rejected, so you spend your time doing hobbies like animation. Watching this entire short, at least the part of it that dealt with the anime relation portion of it, just it got me annoyed, for starters, because it almost seemed like, for the first time in its history, the BBC didn't actually do its research. Now, don't get me wrong. For starters, the BBC is very well known for actually doing their research, for figuring out stuff, for following through on it, double and triple checking their facts before they go to bat with them. But this smells like some CNN bullshit here. And you all know my feelings on the CNN topic about anime. They blew that way out of proportion. That was so wrong, it's not even funny anymore. So, I mean, it was so horrible. But reports like this about Japan often leave out, though, is that the people in other developed countries like the UK and the US are also having less sex. I sure as hell am. I'm not bringing it like suave. I'm not plowing the fields. I'm not bringing in the noise, bringing in the funk. I sure as hell ain't doing the horizontal polka or the dance with no pants. However many ways you want to say it, I'm not having it. But it's not because I'm spending my time doing animation. For damn sure it's not that. The cause may include longer work hours, the recession of the late 2000s, and easy access to entertainment via the internet. So let me simplify this. You're working more to pay your bills. You can't find a job because the economy took a nosedive and went into the toilet late in the 2000s, and you're watching internet porn. So, how does anime get into this? So in short, yes, easy, always-on access to one's hobby, including anime, may be particularly to blame. But it's clear it's not strictly a Japanese issue, and certainly not one specifically linked to anime. Yet they didn't specify that in their freaking documentary. For starters, there's an entire subculture. I know Gaijin Goomba did a video, I want to say a couple years ago, or at least a year ago, maybe a year and a half. He did a video about people who play dating sims because they can't get a girl. Now, the reason they do this isn't purely because they're lonely, obsessed weirdos. It's because they're working tremendously long hours. A lot of Japanese people, and hell, even a lot of people in the US and in the UK, they're working longer hours. I mean, the US alone, people are working almost 20 to 22 hours almost a day in certain places, upwards to 60, 70 hours a week. And I know it's almost physically impossible, but it is. Well, it's not entirely impossible. But anyway, so they're doing all of this. They're working that many hours because they have bills to pay. Student loans got to get paid. Electric bills, phone bills, mortgages, taxes. All that shit's got to get paid one way or another. And it's like, okay, so I need to pay this. I have to eat. I need the car to get back and forth to this. I got to pay for gas, car insurance, registration. I got to pay for clothing because I can't go to work butt naked. I don't work in a strip club. I got to buy food. I got to make sure I eat. Oh, crap. I got to pay for the electric bill. I got to pay the phone bill. I got to pay, the water in certain areas. I got to pay taxes for property, head tax for living in certain areas. I have to pay a school tax in certain areas. I have to pay all of this with my measly paycheck that I get, so I got to work more hours. And that's what a lot of people get at. And they're saying that, well, they're just blaming hobbies. No, it has nothing to do with hobbies. In some areas, yeah, okay, sure, hobbies may be one of the main reasons. I mean, there might be a person that might strictly want to do wood burning for 6 to 10 hours a day. That might also be their business. They might be a stay-at-home person that burns pictures and sayings into wood and then sells them on eBay or Craigslist. Or they might even have their own site. They might sell it on Etsy for all we know. So, yeah, okay, you got hobbies, you got long working hours, and the recession from the late 2000s, I don't really think you can count that because there were still people going out yet, having dates, and meeting people even then. So that one you can't really count. But longer working hours, I could see that. Easy access to entertainment via the internet. That I want to call bullshit. At this point in life, you have smartphones, you have tablets, you have computers that people can literally shove into their purse, and you have the audacity to tell me that people aren't having sex because they can spank the monkey at home while watching porn. Okay, but then you're also throwing anime back under that bus again, if you think about it, because everybody swears that anime is porn. And it's not. I covered that in an Andrew Rantz video. But still, you have that issue going on top of everything else in the world. So I just kind of found this funny. Because now one person, another person that they did interview, she actually is an account executive, or an executive accountant in Japan. She came right out and said she's busy. She actually made the comment that she finally, when they talked with her, she just got, this was the first time in weeks she was able to go out and sit down with her friends and have a drink. For the first time in weeks. A lot of these documentaries, it just pisses me off because either they're not doing their research or they just pick 3 people off the street and go, tell us your life story about this. And it annoys me in a way because they don't actually think before they up and say something. Then they edit out stuff that they don't want aired. Like, oh, but, and then insert something here. No, they cut out that section, have what they want to make their point. Now, like I said, it really upsets me if the BBC did something like this because they've really been good on news. I mean, if it comes to something that's educational or something that you need to know information on, the BBC usually has your back. I mean, if you ever want to know if a big, worldwide celebrity dies, if the BBC has it up, it's official. Screw ABC, screw Fox, screw CNN straight into the bowels of hell. If the BBC has it up and it's a worldwide celebrity, you can take it to the bank. They're dead. If a politician or a president were to die, yeah. BBC has it up. It's official. It's like a slam down. All of a sudden you have all these news organizations complaining around a table. Well, I don't know if this is true. And you just have like the BBC slamming their hand down. No! It's true, damn it. But if they're pulling CNN level bullshit for documentaries, first off, they really need to reevaluate themselves because CNN shot themselves in the foot on this one. When they did that documentary years ago and swore that all anime is porn, they officially shot themselves in the foot. Do you have anime that are like My Neighbor Totoro? Which, okay, that's a movie. Doraemon. You got a whole crap ton of young children anime that teaches them right from wrong. How dare you have the audacity to tell people at home that, their kids watching Two Little Cats. And no, I'm not talking about Hello Kitty. I'm talking about like something else. Or Hamtaro or something else. How dare they have the audacity to tell people that this was porn? But the BBC has a lot of balls to say that anime might be the blame for why Japan isn't having sex. No, Japan isn't having sex for other reasons. And they outline it. I will admit that they do outline it a little bit in the Otaku USA article. The BBC one, not so much. They kept leaning towards the hobbies and the fact that apparently the men in Japan are afraid of women. Wow! We've officially gone backwards in time. Whoa! I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know it was possible for an entire world to officially screw itself over to the point where one population, one specific set of a population is terrified of the opposite gender. I didn't think that was possible, but apparently it's possible. I didn't know it was possible. I didn't think it was possible. It's possible, apparently. So, there you go. But anyway, like I said, I'm not happy with this. I'm not pleased with it. I personally think that they should really do research on documentaries like this and don't just up and say, oh, it's the hobbies. That's what's doing it. Hey, I collect trading cards. I collect, weird action figures, manga. I play some games. Are you going to tell me that, oh, that's the reason why I'm not having sex? I kind of think it's the fact that I can't find any woman that's willing to have sex with me. That's probably the key reason why. Notice how I said that. That's probably the key reason why. But they just up and say, yeah, no, this is why. Bastards. And I don't know what else to say about it. I really don't. Andrew. Hey, what better way to spend a Sunday, right? My name's Andrew Rhodes. I'm the host of the Absolutely Completely Random podcast, where I talk about anime, movies, manga, technology, video games, any of those topics, from articles that I find throughout the week. New episodes of my podcast are uploaded here on YouTube every Sunday, so come check me out. You never know, you might learn something new. And hey, I always like making a new friend. Alright, so my hatred of live action anything that was originally an anime and comes out of the land of the rising sun should not be hidden by now from viewers or regular viewers of this podcast. I can't stand live action adaptations of anime titles. And apparently I'm not the only one. The live action Gintama movie, I don't know. It opened up this past weekend in Japan, which would have been last weekend. It opened in third at the box office. It's getting decent reviews from fans online. One professional viewer was not amused. First off, I would love to be a person that would just start a blog, go to the movies, review the movie, put it on the blog, and get paid to do that. That would be a dream job for me. All I gotta do is go see a movie and write up about what, three to four paragraph thing about it, maybe 6 at the most. I can do that. Well, apparently the reviewer for Weekly Culture magazine, Shukan Shincho, wrote, among other things, "Give me my money back." That almost sounds like a Billy Ray Cyrus something. What? Give me my money back. I want my cash back in my wallet fast. Hey, I like that. I want to patent that. The critic also wrote that she was dumbfounded and enraged by the film. So that's always, so first off, that's a really good sign that your movie's gonna do well. Oh, you have a critic that goes, I'm dumbfounded and enraged by your movie. Yeah, you got a real winner there. And you have a Culture magazine reporter or reviewer going, give me my money back. Yeah! You people are a really screwed up thing there. But anyway, on Japanese social media, though, some of the commenters were noting that the critic who went into the film looked for a historical epic. That were looking for a historical epic might have missed the point of the film. Yeah, they took the wrong off-ramp, huh? And despite the scathing review, the critics still gave it a 64 out of 100. That's bad. Gintama fans, are you looking forward to seeing the live-action version? Well, taking I was never really a fan of Gintama, no. But that's just, I mean, like I said, I've said this so many times, I don't really think I can just justify it anymore. Live-action anime adaptations suck. They royally suck, they blow, they reek, they suck to high hell and back. I've stressed it, I've said it multiple times, I will say it till I'm blue in the face, and even then afterwards. Live-action anime adaptations suck and blow. They prove physics wrong. That something can both literally suck and blow. That being said, I'm not a fan of them. Dragon Ball Evolution, Attack on Titan, G-Savior. Three of the most horrible live-action adaptations I have ever seen in my life. Not to mention the fact that there are a ton more that are out there that I've either shielded myself from or just never bothered to watch. For good reason. But anyway, I know, it sucks. I can't stand them either. But anyway, there's that. So Gintama, give me my money back, please. Alright, let's talk about one of the miscellaneous topics. This is one that I either forgot about or forgot that I had a thing for it. This came from, I don't remember what exactly this came from. It was a thing of why affordable housing for animators matters and what you can do to help. It was an article. I think I found this on Facebook, I want to say. If you're interested in finding out more about the anime industry, you'll undoubtedly come across numerous reports of struggling animators. For the most part, anime is not a practical way to make a living. Yeah, no shit. It's an industry for the dreamers. And even if they can tolerate the long hours, they still have to be able to pay the rent. In one survey conducted in 2010, an animator at an unnamed studio was earning $270 American a month, working an average of 9 hours at a studio each day. As you might expect, this animator couldn't afford to move out of his parents' house and had to commute 90 minutes to the studio. The situation is even more difficult for animators who live outside the Tokyo area. Animators need time to be able to prove themselves and achieve a livable income. So with low wages, long commutes, and the anime industry being mostly inaccessible living outside of Tokyo, the animator supporters dormitory project becomes more than just charity. It becomes necessary for the success of many. Now, I've never heard of this prior to this article, so that's kind of impressive. It was during CG designer Jun Sugawara's time volunteering for an organization that supports young animators and artists that he became aware of these issues in the anime industry. After meeting animator Tomohishi, or I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry, Shimoyama, it's Tomohisa, Tomohisa Shimoyama, he learned of the incredibly low wages for animators starting out in Japan and the condition that brought 90% of them to quit the industry in their first 3 years. Now, I've covered the low wages on here multiple times. I mean, come on, let's face it, there are Chinese children in sweatshops earning more than them making Walmart shoes. I'm being honest on that. It's just sad. It was these facts that led him to start the animator supporters, eventually culminating in the animator supporters dormitory project. I'm guessing they should have a pretty cool acronym for that, ASDP, which I'm thinking they're probably not going to like. But anyway, as a co-author of this article, the person that wrote the article, they made their own investment in the animator support dormitory after donating to the project and spreading the word. The 2016 crowdfunding campaign. They were invited to the dorm for personal look. Okay, their goal wasn't to ascertain the dorm's importance, which has been made evident by the resurgence of their residents. Names in the credits of new anime episodes. The purpose of visiting was to meet the people who have made the project a success. So it's just kind of interesting. It's like a massive, I want to say Habitat for Humanity sort of deal. But still, it's pretty cool that, animators are, finally getting some decent treatment. In Japan, they're getting they're getting help, and I apologize, I suddenly got the hiccups. But they're getting some help. They're getting necessary, a place to live, roof over their head. It's kind of nice. In its own way, it is kind of nice. So, yeah, kudos to that. Congratulations. And I hope the project continues and keeps going and going and going. So look that up. It's the Animator Supporters Dormitory Project. Hi, everybody. This is Andrew Rhodes from the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I'm inviting you to check out my podcast every single week here on YouTube. I talk about articles throughout the week that have to deal with anime, manga, video games, technology, and movies. All of which I usually read back the article, then give you my thoughts and opinions on them included. Not to mention some humor now and then. Occasionally I have a special guest with me, Professor Sherman Klump, and otherwise I'm by myself. So if you're interested in anime, manga, movies, technology, or video games, come check out the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. New episodes are uploaded every Sunday, only on YouTube. Alright, it's time for the asshole seller of the week. And my God, is this one weak. I mean, this is freaking weak sauce here. But seriously, anybody that actually understands anything in the world or has any bit of common sense should be able to tell this for what it is. So the asshole seller of the week is on eBay, Rare Movies for You. Ah, yes, you are my asshole seller of the week. Now, you might actually be in contention for asshole seller of the year. I don't know yet. So what is Rare Movies for You selling that got them on this title of asshole seller of the week, you're asking? Well, they're selling a bunch of Hallmark, Lifetime, and Ion movies. And the thing is, they're selling them disc only, no case. Now, okay, before you start jumping to the comments section, but I've seen a lot of discs only on eBay for sale that are legitimate movies. Yeah, you read the description and it says, and I quote, because I actually wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, just in case I couldn't log back in, or in case it got taken down prior to this podcast going up, which I don't think it has yet. It said, and I quote, "This DVD is made to order from a collector for your enjoyment." Now, I'd like to pause here for a moment and say that the words "made to order" should never be included in something you list as brand new. That instantly shoots up about 50 red flags for me. Not to mention the fact that one of the pictures of the images that you put up on eBay to show people what you have for sale literally looks like they just took it right off the television and plopped it onto a disc as a label. Now, I know you can do that. I used to print off fake labels for discs, just for the hell of it. Oh, I was screwing around with the design program we had years ago, and I printed off like a couple of them just from like an anime picture that I had, just to see how it worked. Was I actually going to use them? Hell no. As I printed them out on regular paper. But it literally looks like they just took a screen image of it, because the picture in question, and I actually have it here, I might include it when I do the podcast up. I might include it when I put this in video form. Okay, the image is for Magic Stocking. Now, I know what you're thinking, but what's uncommon about that? Well, for starters, it literally just looks like the picture right from the Hallmark channel. Like from the screenshot of it. But underneath the title Magic Stocking, first off, you would expect to see a DVD thing. Wait, hold on. I actually have a DVD not over here. Hold on. Let me pull out a DVD here. I actually have one next to me. Or around me, I should say. Okay. You would see the title. You would see, if it's Dolby Digital, you would see the words DVD video. You would see a region code on it. This picture, no region code, no DVD video, nothing, no copyright label. All you see on it is a picture of a mother and a daughter, a bunch of Christmas lights, what looks like a window that they're standing behind, and oh, yes, the words premieres Sunday, December 6th, 8 Central. Yep, that's right, folks. This literally looks like they just took the image straight off of the TV and then put it onto a disc. Now, I know what you're thinking, but how is that a bad thing? Because that's copyright infringement. Huge copyright infringement. Not to mention that a majority of these movies that this seller has up are literally rare and have not been released yet. Or if they have been released, they were released in limited quantities, only available on the Hallmark store. So, for them to first off have this up, with that, shoots off about 15 red flags to me. All of which are saying, this is a bootleg. To which, in my mind, I'm going, no shit. This is definitely not right. This is a bootleg if I've ever smelled a bootleg in my life. This is 100% BS. Wow, smell that BS. Isn't it lovely? Whew. My God, it stinks. But second off, they have the same thing under each of the descriptions. Like you have item description underneath it. Like underneath the buy it now, or underneath what the condition is, they have down that this DVD is made to order from a collector for your enjoyment. Underneath the brand new. You don't do shit like that. You don't pull this kind of bullshit on buyers on eBay. No! That is not allowed. I mean, that is not allowed. You don't do shit like that. That is a violation of at least 16 different things here. And I mean that. That's copyright infringement. That is so... I mean, it's copyright infringement. Oh, God. Okay, I just did a Google search. They are all over the Google search. I mean, the images are even up here. This cannot be real here. None of this can be right. They literally all look like they just took this freaking screen image right off either the box art, a picture from an ad, or strictly off the TV in the case of Miracle Stocking. And this is, like I said, rare movies for you. They're still on eBay as of right now, at least as far as I can tell anyway. My laptop's going a little slow. It's still doing updates after my reset from last week. Figures. I don't go on this enough anymore. But I just want to first off, this is horrible. Okay, they're still up. They're still active yet. They have 181 feedback, 99.5%. So they don't even have a perfect 100. First off, that definitely says that somebody at least figured out that this is bullshit. They have what looks like some box art. They have a majority of this literally looks like they just took like advertisements literally off the television and just slapped them onto the disc via a disc maker. You have some of the featured items they have here. Journey Back to Christmas. Meet the Santas. Mistletoe Promise. And all of these are Hallmark movies, at least the majority of them. Some of the ones they have on here. You have All for Love. First of all, that's a DVD from this year. Disc only, no case. Charming Christmas, DVD of Hallmark movie. Disc only, no case. You have Not With His Wife, a.k.a. The Undercover Wife. DVD only, DVD disc only, no case. You have Destination Wedding. some of these are brand new, just made this year. 3 Bedrooms, 1 Corpse. Disc Only No Case. Julia's House. The Aurora Tea Garden Mystery DVD. Disc Only No Case. Bundle of Trouble. Disc Only No Case. Disc Only No Case. Disc Only No Case. And some of the images that they have on here are screenshots from the movie. But the kicker is, every single one of these is priced at $17.99. I mean, occasionally you'll have one. If it's not a Hallmark movie, the Hallmark movies appear to be $17.99. Anything other than that is a different price. There's a Lifetime movie here that's $10.99. You have another Hallmark movie here, Reading, Writing, and Romance. Disc Only No Case, $17.99. Haley Dean Mystery, Deadly Estate, DVD of 2017 movie. Disc Only No Case. Haley Dean Mystery, Murder with Love, DVD of 2017 movie. Disc Only No Case. And this just goes on and on and on. Hallmark movies. Matchmaker Santa, DVD of 2014 Hallmark movie. Disc Only No Case, $17.99, $17.99, $17.99, ad infinito, date down the damn line. So, Rare Movies for You. You are officially on my list for Asshole Seller of the Week. I recommend everybody stay the fuck away from this seller. This shit is bootleg. It's probably recorded off of a DVR, or they bought it on Amazon Prime, downloaded it, and they're just burning it onto discs and selling them to you at a profit for them. That is horrible. Horrifically wrong. You don't do shit like that. That's copyright infringement. The hard-earned people at the Hallmark need to... No. Like I said, Rare Movies for You. You are my Asshole Seller of the Week. You are definitely a contender for Asshole Seller of the Year. I'm gonna hold on to you just to see if anything bad comes about. But you are my Asshole Seller of the Week. 100% the Asshole Seller of the Week. All right. So you know that One Piece is officially hitting its 20th anniversary. First off, congratulations to the creator. I mean, that's huge. However, the news that dropped at the 20th anniversary event kind of leaves a sour taste in my mouth. I don't know about yours. But anyway, 20 years after Ichiro Oda's One Piece manga means we have plenty of big news to look forward to. But nobody saw this coming. At least, I don't think many people did. Neither did the people from the article from Otaku USA. Revealed at the 20th anniversary event in Japan, Tomorrow Studios has plans to produce a live-action Hollywood TV show adaptation of One Piece. Why would you do this? Okay, so Tomorrow Studios is a partnership between ITV Studios and producer Marty Aldenstein, who is known for shows like Prison Break and Teen Wolf. By the way, both of those suck. Tomorrow is also the studio behind the previously announced live-action Cowboy Bebop TV series. I personally hope both of these bankrupt your ass. I really do. That's in the works. First off, I stressed this in a past podcast. Cowboy Bebop TV series. Now you got One Piece. Seriously, why not just beat the dead horse and just get Dragon Ball Z in on this too? Then you could just ruin everything. I honestly hope that both of these bankrupt Tomorrow Studios and ITV Studios suffers some of the consequences as well. Shonen Jump editor-in-chief Hiroki Nakano read out a message Oda himself prepared in response to the announcement. Here's the translation from ANN. I believe that would be the Anime News Network, or I believe this actually might be a TV station. Anyway, here's the message that was read. You're gonna love this. Okay, in the last 20 years, the conversation about a live action adaptation has come up many times. I decided to go forward with the adaptation about 3 years ago. There were many twists and turns. I met a good partner. Today is just about the 20th anniversary. The announcement of the new work is actually just a coincidence. I am very happy. Firstly, I will never betray the fans who have supported me for 20 years. This is my condition. There may be many who are uneasy, but please give me your voices of hope. Please be excited for the follow-up reports. Please look forward to it. Yeah, end quote. If that's not enough, the Japan Anniversary Association has officially declared July 22nd to be One Piece Day. So first off, happy One Piece Day, everybody! Yay! Be patient with this. Be excited for follow-up reports. I will be excited for the follow-up report that says that Tomorrow Studios has gone bankrupt and both TV series adaptations are officially dead in the water. That Cowboy Bebop and One Piece TV adaptations of the live-action form will be dead in the water. You wanted to do this for years. You decided to go forward with it 3 years ago. Why did you just basically hold a gun up to every single one of your fans' heads and play Russian roulette with them? You don't do live action with anime. Have we not learned anything from the movies? No? Okay, apparently we haven't. Why, for the love of God, would you do this? 20 years. You've been doing this for 20 years. Why would you basically screw and flush 20 years of your life right down the toilet because you want to make a live action adaptation and you want to make it a TV series? What the fucking hell is wrong with your anime series? Why do you need to have a live action Hollywood TV series? Hollywood can't even do Godzilla right, for God's sake. 2 Godzilla movies the US did, both of them fucking suck. The 1998 Abomination and that crappy one from like 2014 or 2015. That sucked too. Bryan Cranston couldn't save that piece of shit. And you, Oda. Oh, God. Why? Oh, well, we're going to partner with Tomorrow Studios to take care of this. Gah! They're the idiots that are trying to ruin Cowboy Bebop by making that into a live-action TV series. What the hell was wrong with the original anime? And it's a timeless classic. You don't fuck with timeless shit. If something was done right the first time, it was done right the first time. There's no need to reboot it. There's no need to improve upon it. It was done right. Dragon Ball Z was done right the first time. We didn't need Dragon Ball Z Kai. We sure as hell don't need a live-action Cowboy Bebop, and we don't need a live-action One Piece. What the are you thinking? Shonen Jump Editor-in-Chief, Hiroki Nakano. Hiroyuki Nakano. Why? You couldn't have just looked at him and bitch slapped him and said, you are out of your damn mind. You're going crazy. You're hysterical. Someone needs to slap you. 20 years flushed down the toilet. Well, there you go, folks. Let's see. There's going to probably be a Naruto one then. Dragon Ball Z. Oh, yeah, Kira Toriyama will sell the back a dump truck full of yen to his front door. No. You know what? No. I take that back. I take that back. He might actually hold out. He might be the only one that'll hold out. There'll probably be a live-action Bleach. Hell, we're already going to get a freaking movie that's going to tank. Why don't we just make a live-action TV series while we're at it, too? Let's just keep flushing cash down the toilet. How do you see this coming out? Netflix? YouTube? Crunchyroll? Hulu? The Kiss My Ass Network? How? I don't see Funimation picking up the bill for this and wanting to have it on their fucking website. And I sure as hell don't see YouTube wanting it on theirs. Oh, sure, they might play the trailer that somebody will upload, but I don't see it. I see the copyright people or YouTube admins shutting this thing down fast. And you have the audacity. You know what? Screw it. Screw it. Remember a couple weeks ago when I went off on that fidget spinner thing and I pulled the thing from Mad TV? Well, guess what? It's time to go back. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Oda, what the f*** are you thinking? You have a beautiful series, 20 years young, and you basically flush its life down the toilet before it even has a chance to do anything good with it. For the love of God, are you that desperate for money? I know the Japanese animators don't make diddly shit when it comes to pay, but you're that desperate and hard up for cash that you gotta piss your life down the toilet. You basically have to sell out to the first studio that wants to make a live-action TV series? And the poor people at Cowboy Bebop. Do you know how many people and voice actors went on to do so many other things after that series? Because that's where they got their jumping-off point, you fascist bastards! Oda, I personally hope that somebody pisses in your oatmeal or whatever you eat in the morning for breakfast. I hope that they make your life a living hell. I hope that your fans leave you. Why, for the love of God, would you do this? Sure, okay, your manga's basically old. It's the only one that's still going in Shonen Jump anymore out of the originals, but for the love of God, it's not dead in the water yet. Did you have the audacity? You have the balls and I can't even form words anymore. I'm so pissed off. You have officially killed One Piece. Congratulations. You've murdered your own creation. You're no better than Frankenstein. The only good thing we get out of this, we get a new day on the calendar for otaku fans around the world to enjoy. July 22nd's One Piece Day. I can see it now, 10 years or 30 years down the road when I finally have sex with a woman and I have kids and my grandkids come years later. July 22nd is going to come around. I'm going to go, kids, come on, come gather around Grandpa for a moment. Let me tell you a story about how One Piece used to be a good anime series before they fucked it up and made it a live-action Hollywood TV series. The hell is wrong with you people? Oda, I personally, like I said, I personally hope Tomorrow Studios goes bankrupt on both of these. Prison Break sucked. Teen Wolf Blue. Why the hell would you want to go for this? Both of those things sunk faster than the goddamn Titanic. But you want to jump onto this boat? Sure, I'll bring the life rafts, and while I'm at it, I'll be on dry dock eating marshmallows while you burn on the boat that's sinking into the water. I personally hope that this isn't going to be the end of One Piece, but I know it's going to be. You finally found a way to kill it. While we're at it, why don't we just take out all the other good anime series while we're at it? Hey, Akira Toriyama, why don't you finish off Dragon Ball Super? Just kill everybody off in all the universes. Hey, we don't have to worry about that one anymore. Okay, let's see. What other popular ones are there? Oh, yeah, Food Wars. Let's just end it with a kitchen fire. Let's see. What else do we got? Castlevania had a Netflix series. Why don't we just end that thing where everybody dies by vampires? What else? Pokemon. Ash will finally wake up, and he won't be a kid. No, I got it. Well, he'll finally end that series. He'll win the in Pokemon League. You have the audacity to do this. Any other studio that does this, I personally think should be burned at the stake. They should have their reputation dragged through the mud for this. You have ruined One Piece, and you have the audacity to go, this has been brought up many times, and I decided to go forward with it 3 years ago. And you can say that, and you didn't even bother to show up to say it yourself. Oh, well, I'm busy, right, during the manga and everything else. Yeah, you knew the fans would have booed your ass off that stage the second you got on there and made this bullshit announcement. Oh, I've been dreaming about this and made the decision 3 years ago to go forward with it. I believe that this is the way of anime. It was just a coincidence that it was announced today. You knew the fans would have jumped your ass the second you were done with that speech. You would have been booed off that stage. Sales of the manga would have plummeted down to freaking the center of the earth. You, Oda, are a horrible human being now. Congratulations. You are officially one of the worst anime creators I have ever seen in my life. I personally liked One Piece. Now I'm afraid to even enjoy any more of it, because you might as well enjoy the anime form, because once the live action one hits, nobody's going to be bothering with the original anymore, because it's going to be kryptonitic garbage. Ugh! Manga, you make me sick. Physically ill. Ugh. I can't believe you actually did that. You had the nerve to actually say that this was in the making for years. I decided to go forward with it 3 years ago. Bah! Hi, everybody. This is Andrew Rhodes from the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. I'm inviting you to check out my podcast every single week here on YouTube. I talk about articles throughout the week that have to deal with anime, manga, video games, technology, and movies. All of which I usually read back the article and then give you my thoughts and opinions on them included. Not to mention some humor now and then. Occasionally I have a special guest with me, Professor Sherman Klump, and otherwise I'm by myself. So if you're interested in anime, manga, movies, technology, or video games, come check out the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. New episodes are uploaded every Sunday, only on YouTube. Alright, and that's pretty much going to do it this week for the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast. If you have any topic suggestions that you'd like me to talk about here on the podcast, feel free to tweet them with the hashtag ACR Podcast Topics, or email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions on ways I can improve the podcast, or you just have some possible questions that you might want to be in a future Q&A, feel free to email them to me at acrpodcast@gmail.com, or tweet them to me on Twitter at Otaku Roads on Twitter if you want. And until next week, I'd like to close out this week by quoting Suave. But before I do, look forward to the 1-year anniversary of the podcast. It's coming up in September. I have a couple plans for that, and it's when the podcast, I think, is really going to grow. So we're going to be a year old. I can't believe that. But anyway, I'd like to close out this week by quoting Suave from Anime Abandoned. As he would always say, may your glasses and beds never be empty. And until next week, everybody, my name's Andrew Rhodes, and this has been the Absolutely Completely Random Podcast.